Welcome to the 360 Sports Network Road to the Final Four podcast series, breaking down all the conference tournaments on the way to the big dance, looking at who could possibly receive an at-large bid, or whose bubbles might just burst. Because we fill the field of 68, we have to first look at those conference championships. My name's James Dotson. Tonight, we're looking at the Atlantic-10 conference. Well, I guess it's technically the Atlantic-16 now, but we know that, college conferences, they just can't count anymore. We know how that works. But the A10, A16, whatever you want to call it, they are a potential 5-bid league this year. And that's because many of the teams that have formerly been known as mid-majors are in this conference. And those mid-majors have become powerful teams. These teams know how to win the big game when it matters most. And they all have made significant runs in the NCAA Tournament before. St. Louis, the number 1 seed, their program has been well known since Rick Magerus started taking them to the big wins in his reign. John Chaney led the Temple Owls to many NCAA tournament wins over the years. Shaka Smart for Virginia Commonwealth, they went to a Final Four in 2011, and Brad Stevens took Butler to back-to-back NCAA Finals appearances in 2010-2011. So what big mid-major can get it done? We'll start with the 4 seed, LaSalle. They find themselves squarely on the bubble for this tournament, and it's very much probably going to be a win-and-you're-in game when they play Butler in the second round. They beat the Bulldogs back when Butler was ranked 9th in the country, so they know how to beat them. And they have 4 starters who average double-digit points per game. So the balance of power for LaSalle makes them a very interesting NCAA team. Ramon Galloway leads the way for the Explorers with 17 points per game. The team shoots 37% as a team from downtown. Even if they were to lose to Butler, I think that they could make the tournament, but they need to at least look impressive, and they're going to need help from some other teams losing, like, say, a Kentucky or a Virginia, to help boost LaSalle by dropping down on those bigger conference teams. Now, as for that 5 seed, the Butler Bulldogs, they are an interesting story this year. They beat the number 1 Indiana Hoosiers back in December. They took down number 8 Gonzaga in true Hoosiers fashion at Hinkle Fieldhouse with a buzzer beater. But they've had some pretty bad games as well as this year as well, including losing to LaSalle, to Charlotte, and then to the number 1 seed St. Louis twice. 5 conference losses this year for Butler makes me wonder how good this team really is. But some of that is due to Rodney Clark's injury. He had to get back in the swing of things. He's back to full health now, but when he was off, it made things very difficult for them. So we'll see how well he's playing. I think he's going to be alright. He averages 16 points per game for the Bulldogs. He's actually one of 5 Butler players who average double-digit points per game. That's really impressive, especially when Butler is known as a team that goes 10, maybe 11 players deep. So the depth is what makes Butler a great tournament team, just sometimes some bad losses in the regular season is not uncommon for that. Number 3 Temple is not nearly as deep as Butler, but they have the prolific scorers. Khalif Wyatt is the big scorer for the Owls. The senior averages just shy of 20 points per game. Everything runs through Wyatt. Forwards Scooty Randall and Anthony Lee also contribute for Temple, but the team's success is dependent solely on Khalif Wyatt's ability to score, and even more importantly, on his ability to set up his teammates. And Temple has won 7 straight entering the conference tournament, so I can see Temple going far as well. Now, Shaka Smart and his top 25 Virginia Commonwealth Rams are always a threat due to their high-powered offense. They rank in the top 10 in scoring this season, and a big reason why they can score so much is that they run up and down the floor. And the reason that they can run up and down so well is their depth. Shaka Smart goes 10 to 12 players deep almost every game this year. Javonte Reddick gives the Rams an inside presence that many mid-major teams just don't have. And frankly, some of the big-name teams don't have that this year either. Reddick averages 14 points per game, 8 rebounds per game. Watch out for the Rams. We know that they know how to win. You know Shaka Smart can motivate his team well. Finally, number 1, the Billikens in St. Louis. They are the hottest team in the conference right now. They won 12 of their last 13 games. They don't do anything really special. All they do is win. 4 players average double-digit points per game. Kwame Mitchell is the catalyst right now. He's averaged 15 points per game over his last 3 appearances. At 5 foot 10 inches, he's able to drive the lane, dish it to his teammates. However, he has started to find his outside shot, getting a little more confident in it. He'll take shots, and he's knocking down his open looks. So, prediction time. I think I'm going to take Butler over LaSalle. I still think LaSalle could make the tournament, but it'll be very close. They'll probably be like the last team in or the first team out. Next, I think the depth of Virginia Commonwealth will take them to the finals. But who will they face? Here's my thing. When the top rebounder for St. Louis is 6'5" I really have to worry about their ability to play down low. And there's no way I can't pick Brad Stevens and Butler to lose 3 games to the same team in the same year. I don't see them losing 3 times to St. Louis. So it's going to be Shaka Smart versus Brad Stevens, VCU versus Butler. How awesome of a game will it be? I'm very excited for this possibility. I guess I need to make a prediction, so I guess I'll say Virginia Commonwealth because of the ability to put points on the board and the depth of which they do it. But I really don't care who wins. I'm just excited to possibly see it, and with an automatic bid on the line, it will be a great, great game. Possibly the best game on Selection Sunday. Well, that's it for breaking down the Atlantic-10 Conference Championship. Follow us on Twitter at 3S Network and keep tabs at 360sportsnetwork.com for all of your updates leading to Selection Sunday as we help make your bracket be the very best it can. I'm James Dawson for 3SN. Have a good night.